So about a year ago, my mother-in-law moved to Atlanta. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backstory about my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, 96 years old. She's never lived anywhere else in her life but Baltimore, Maryland. And my husband had a phone call with her not long before she moved here. And they talked about how, in fact, my mother-in-law had to move to an assisted living facility. She was going to have to move to Atlanta. So Marty gets off the phone at that point and tells me, I just want you to know that we've made the decision that if my mother-in-law has to, if my mom has to move here, have to go to living, she's going to have to move to Atlanta. And so I said, no problem, because in my mind, you guys, no chance she's going to live that long, right? It's not going to happen. She's totally not going to live as long as she has. So of course, fast forward a couple of years later, we get the phone call that my mother-in-law is not capable of living by herself anymore, and therefore she's moving to Atlanta. So she's now here 15 minutes from me. And let me just say, life is kind of interesting having my mother-in-law 15 minutes from me. You know, there's a pull on for my husband to have to go visit often. And she is not my jam. That's the easy for me to say it. She's lovely, and she's kind, and she's just not my jam. She's not the mother-in-law I would choose. She's rather judgmental. She thinks nobody's good enough for her husband, for her son. And so it's always been somewhat of a challenge. But now she's here and we're making the best of it. And what we do is every 10 days or so, I'll visit her. Marty goes to visit way more than I do, but she gets me every 10 days or so. And whenever we go to the grocery store first, and we buy her flowers. We buy her fresh flowers, and we buy her whatever she needs from the grocery store. I am huge on fresh flowers. Case in point, behind me in my office are always fresh flowers. I love them. I think they make such a difference in my life. So we buy the flowers, we get what she needs from the grocery store. Basically, she lives on boxed Chardonnay and Reese's peanut butter cups. So that's usually what we're picking up for, and some milk. We go to her house. I'm undoing the flowers. Marty's in the living room visiting with her. And I hear from a distance, Wendy, darling, what do I owe you? And I say to her, Mom, don't worry about it. You don't owe me anything. And she says, I'm not going to continue to ask me to buy me things if you don't let me pay you. So I said, fine, it's 20 bucks. I walk into the living room where she's sitting, and she hands me this envelope, a bank envelope of money, totally stacked to the gills. And I eke out a $20 bill and I hand the pack of money back to her. Finished visiting, Marty and I leave him home. And we get to the house, and in not 5 minutes that we get to the house when Marty's phone rings, and it's my mother-in-law. And I always know it's her when the phone rings, as he's talking, screaming, hi, mom, walking out the door of the house, because he's getting ready to scream because she can hear. And he doesn't want to scream in the house because he knows after 2 or 3 times of saying the same thing, I'm going to lose my mind. So this is what I he's walking out of the house. Mom, Wendy did not take all your money. And then 2 seconds later, I hear the same thing again, only on a louder octave. Mom, he's screaming now, Wendy did not take all your money. And I'm thinking, what in God's name is going on? So I go outside and I say, Marty, what's that conversation about? He said, you're not going to believe this, but Mom can't find that you gave back to her, and she thinks you took it. And I'm like, she thinks I took it? Like, that's a 96-year-old, right? An earring is missing, somebody took it. Anytime something's missing, somebody took it. I'm like, let me ask you a question. First of all, I didn't take her money. Second of all, how much money was in that envelope? He said she had $470. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what is she doing with $170 in her little 1-bedroom studio apartment in assisted living? She doesn't go anywhere. So they hang up the phone, and 20 minutes later when she calls back, oh my God, I feel so bad for accusing Wendy of taking my money. And when Mark says to my mother-in-law, Mom, did you find the money? She goes, yes, darling, I found the money. Where'd you find it, Mom? She literally said to him, oh my God, I'm not going to believe this. My money under my mess. Now, I'm going to cut a 6-year-old woman some slack for having money under her mess. But here's what I want to ask every one of you on this call. What hiding under yours? And more importantly, what is your organization costing you? I want you to think about that, because not just is it costing you money, is it costing you in time? Is it costing you in health? Maybe relationships, and so much more. I think right now more than ever, people are realizing how organization affects every single aspect of your life. So let me share with you why I'm doing this. I'm doing this webinar because I am normally on a stage, an international stage. I have created an international speaking business where I'm all over the world, spreading my passion about getting people to clean up their mess, right? No stages for me right now, right? I'm not going anywhere. So right now, when this whole thing, coronavirus, quarantine, stay-at-home thing happened, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, the world is forced to stay amongst their crowd. What if you're not organized? What if you're in this space that you're living, you're trying to work in, and you're carving out the corner of your dining room table because you have nowhere else to go? Like, all these people have to be suffering. I've got to be able to help, right? So how you do anything is how you do everything. When I'm with a client on a call with me and she's 5 or 10 minutes late, I don't think she's picked me out of all the people she knows to be late with. I think that's just how she is in her life. So I want you to think about what you do and how you do, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And who are you? I want you to think about that as well. Who are you? So I would say the one word I would go to describe who I am, anyone that knows me would be able to testify to that, is that I am reliable. I am 100% reliable. I saw a guy walking in the park yesterday that I meant to take a picture of his, and I couldn't, walking too fast. He had a shirt on that said, because I said I would. And I went, oh my God, that's me. Because I said I would. I'm going to do it because I said I would. That's it. That's the only reason. I'm reliable. So not only am I reliable, but I live in alignment with being that. And in order to do that, I have to be a planner. In order to be reliable and deliver, I say I'm going to deliver, I have to be a planner. I have to be organized. So not only do I want you to figure out who you are in the world, but are you living in alignment with who that is? And if you're not, let's get that way. You have an opportunity. Right now is the biggest opportunity to clean up mess. Whatever the mess is, mental mess, electronic mess, physical mess, right? Now's the time. This is the silver lining. If there is no other silver lining, and I bet you if I asked every one of you on this call, you could come up with a silver lining, probably a list of silver linings for what we're experiencing right now. But I see this as the #1 silver lining. Wouldn't it be the coolest thing in the world? Goodwill, the main benefactor of coronavirus. Wouldn't it be so cool if every single person on the planet got rid of the crap they didn't need and donated to the people that need it? That to me is my ultimate goal. That to me is the vision I have for the world. It may be how the world changes. So are you living in alignment with who you say you are and who you want to be? So getting control of your life equal one thing and one thing only. This is really important. Getting control of how your environment functions. That's it. How your environment functions. And here's the most important thing I'm going to say today. We get to choose what that looks like. Every single person on this call gets to choose how you set yourself up. You didn't move into the house you're quarantined in that was empty. I mean, that was all. You moved to a house that was empty. So if you look around and clutter and you got chaos, you got overwhelm, and you got piles, you created that. No problem, not making you wrong about it, but ask your question, how's that working for you? That feel? If it doesn't feel good, let's reset it up so that it does. I live in the most Zen home on the planet. Look at my office. This is what I look at. What you look at behind you is what I look at every day. I literally put my chair on the other side of my desk so you could see I look at it every day. I have set it up so that I only look at the things I like to look at that bring me joy. They're not distracting. They're pretty things that bring me joy. It draws me into my space. I want you to get the same thing for yourself. So in order to get where you are now, which is maybe disorganized, overwhelmed, chaos, to where you want to be, which is clarity and calm, right? Is one word and one word only. And here it is. And this is a really interesting word because I know you've heard of these words before. For instance, how many of you, by a show of hands, raise your hands, have put your keys in exactly the same place every single day when you get home, right? There you go, all raising your hand. Look at them. Hands are coming up. Everybody in this call is raising their hand, right? You put your keys in exactly the same spot every time you come home. Why? Why? I answer why, because we find them when we look for them, right? So when it comes to something as simple as keys, that while they may be simple, they're really important and critical to our everyday life. We have a system for that, right? But when it comes to our office, which is where we spend the most time in our life, if we have a full-time job, we got no systems, right? So the system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. That key system saves you time. How about how many of you, show of hands on this call, have a silverware drawer? Anybody on this call have a silverware drawer in their kitchen? Yeah, probably more people than have key bowls. I don't know anybody that does a silverware drawer. Why don't you just spread your silverware on your kitchen counter, and when you want a fork, walk up to it? Would make sense, right? No, system for your silverware. Here's the room, your kitchen, where you have systems. So it's interesting how in so many areas of our life we have systems, but when it comes to our office, is one of the most important pieces in life, we don't have any. So why me? Well, this is me. These are my siblings. In this picture, we are 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And my mom, may she rest in peace, is 28 years old. Can you imagine? Can you imagine right now, quarantined in your house, you're 28 years old and you have 5 children that you're homeschooling? Really? Can't go there. Can't even go there. This was enough and we're quarantined, right? I lived in a very strict house. I had systems, things back belonged. That's the way I was raised, okay? Which is a gift that I got because now I've made a lifetime out of sharing it with other people. Then what happens is after that, I go to corporate America. I grow up, I leave home, I get a job in corporate America, and everywhere I go, I see this. Not only are people stressed out and leaning on their desk, they're leaning on their piles on their desk. It's part of what's stressing them out. Never mind the work they have to do. How about the reminder of all the work they have to do by looking at all of it in piles, right? Then I see this, no one's on time. Everybody's running late. Nobody honors their word when it comes to time or pretty much anything else. Then I see people stressed out and on their last nerve all the time and on overload, right? But here's the thing, that was 20 years ago. I'm doing this business for 20 years now. It's 20 years I've added corporate America. And back then it looked this, can you only imagine what it looks like now? We're all freaking out. We all have so much to do. Right now, there's a huge new reality. We're working from home, which people are more productive, and a lot of people are way less productive because they don't know how to even set themselves up. So why are you so unhappy with your job? This is a question that I ask my clients all the time because they say to me, I don't think I like my job. And I say to them, I don't think that you don't like your job. I think it's that you don't like the way you're doing your job. I was coaching a client today who's working from the house, and she said to me, I'm really struggling with passion. And I said, tell me more. She said, I just feel like doing what I'm doing that maybe this isn't what I want to do for the rest of your life, my life. And I said, hold on a minute, understand. You're not going to be doing your job the way you're doing it like this for the rest of your life. You're not going to be missing your colleagues, being able to turn around in your office and talk to somebody, leaving and going on a lunch break, commute every day and that in-between time. This is not normal, guys. So if you're stressing out about this, thinking this is what it's going to be the rest of your life, do not make any big decision now. It is not. This is temporary for all of us. I am dying to get on an airplane right now. Dying to, and go anywhere on a stage. And until I can, I'm doing what I'm doing. It is not what I'm going to be doing forever. I want you all to really understand that. It's not a question of you not liking your job. It's a question of not liking the way you're doing your job. And if I can set you guys up for success, where you can be really realistic about how much you can get done and do the best you can every day and leave your office at a reasonable hour and go be with your family or your friends or your loved ones. That's what I want for all of us. So since 2000, I have transformed hundreds of spaces and businesses and mindsets, and I have it all. Trust me when I tell you. This is a client of mine. She's with the American Cancer Society. She's been working for the American Cancer Society for 8 years. She's the person who assists the woman who runs all the Relay for Life programs in the country. She's got a big job. She hires me to come out there to organize her. Look at this office. She's got a cubicle here, and then there's a cubicle back and behind her also that she's now taken over, okay? So I say, Cheryl, what's pile right here in front of your computer? And she comes to me funny and goes, what do you mean, what's that pile? And I looked at her back and said, what do you mean, what do I mean, what's that pile? What is that pile? And she said, Wendy, I had nowhere else to put it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you had nowhere else to put it. You're sitting in your chair and you're working on your computer and this is staring you in the face and it has nothing to do with working on. You possibly get anything done. Then I heard, when's the last time you used these wet ones? I don't see a counter that's even clear enough to be wiped off, right? We literally spent 7 hours in this space. We picked up every single thing in space and we made a decision about it. And when I was finished, this is what it looked like. And I said to her, Cheryl, let me ask you a question. She was crying when this experience ended. And I said, tell me what the tears are about. And she said to me, Wendy, I can take a sick day. And I'm like, oh my God, now you can take a sick day. What do you mean? She said, I could never take a sick day because I was always afraid that nobody would be able to find anything in my absence. And I'm thinking, my God, if I come into that space every day, I'd have to take a sick day every day. Like, I couldn't believe that. And not only did she take a sick day, but after this experience, we set her up and she started following the systems we put in place. And very quickly after, not only did she take a sick day, but she actually got pregnant and got to leave for maternity. She left for 3 months with peace of mind. Now, can any of you on this call imagine that right now you're shutting down right this second, you go into labor, you're done for 3 months, you're not coming back to your job, you have peace of mind about it. I can, but most people can't. So I want you to think about that. So the job of a problem is to get your attention. Hey, look, you're on this call, right? You're on this call with me. The job of a problem, which was you saw the title, Your Success is Under Your Mess, and thought, oh my God, talking about me. I got to hear what she has to say about this topic. All it did was get your attention and you're here. Now, what are you going to do with it? So we're going to talk about the 3 steps to unleash your productivity potential. Number 1, wrap your head around getting organized. You got to get the mindset. Guys, you got to get it up here before it plays out into your life. It's not just going to play out into your life without you getting it up here first, right? So a mindset is a set of beliefs or a way of thinking that determines one's behavior, look, or mental attitude. You believe you're disorganized. And you think that way and you live that way, and that determines your behavior and your outlook and your mental attitude, right? How am I going to ever get out of it? I've been living away for so long. How do I deal with the clutter? How do I live in a house with people who are also that way? All this is swirling around in your head. So we got to get that out, and we got to get a clean mindset about it. And sometimes it takes a silly webinar like today for you to go, oh, I'm going to walk out of this webinar and I have a different mindset about the way I operate. And now that I have the mindset, I'm going to have it play out in my life, right? So a mindset in this instance also is keeping your head in the game. Here's what I mean by that. Stop with the autopilot. You're on autopilot. Every one of us is on autopilot. And some of our pilots are not taking us in the right direction, the direction that serves us well. Case in point, every one of you sitting here right now is probably taking notes. What are you going to do with those notes when this call is done? What are you going to do with them? You're going to go walk back into your office or the corner of your dining room table and plop them on a pile. Call is done. Now I got to check my email. I got to check my voicemail. Now I got dinner for my kids, right? Now I got to go homeschool. You're in the middle of all this stuff right now. Got no systems for the way you're operating. So that notebook that you're writing on right now is just going to pile. That's autopilot. I want you to stop that. I want you to think about what you actually do with those notes. I want you to do something different if you want to keep them, right? Keep your head in the game. Pay attention to the way you operate. Think about how you're actually doing day-to-day work, whatever that is. So this is me. I am addicted to the sun. 100% addicted to the sun. Been addicted to the sun since I'm 7 years old. I grew up on Long Island. We went to the beach every weekend. I love nothing more than laying in the sun with it's hot hitting my skin, not moving my body, not having to do a thing. This is pure, unadulterated joy for me. So, about a year ago, my husband and I go to visit friends in Florida, and we're out dinner with this couple, and they invited another couple to join us. And at the dinner table, in the middle of a conversation, the guy of the other couple looked at me and said, Wendy, what's that spot on your face? And I went, I don't know. I had a spot on my face for over a year that I was putting makeup on. Never even crossed my mind to do anything about it. Don't even know why I didn't. It's so not like me, but I didn't. Never even crossed my mind. He said to me, well, let me just tell you this. I'm the top dermatologist in Boca Raton, and I think you should go to the skin doctor first thing Monday morning. I did. He scared the you-know-what of me. I'm really glad he did, because it was cancer. there, front and center on my face. And I got to tell you, nothing scared me more than not only having a scar on my face, because I'm a speaker who gets on a stage all over the world and speaks, but the fact that I knew right then and there, I was no longer going to be addicted to the sun. I was going to have to find a way to change my mindset about the sun. Okay. It never dawned on me that that was what was going to happen as a result of many, many years in the sun. Okay. So here's what I did. I figured out I had to do something to keep my mindset in check. I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but Marty just joined the swimming pool because I like to lay in the sun every weekend. And I said to him, what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my tanning into toning, and I'm going to exercise in the pool, and I'm going to hire a swim coach to teach me how to swim. I had never learned how to swim because I was always afraid to put my face in the water. I literally called Emery, got a coach, got into a class with her, and in 6 weeks, I was swimming a mile a day. I completely turned this experience into a different mindset. Now I'm swimming every single day, a mile. Obsessed with swimming. It is one of the best things that ever happened to me out of an experience that I had no choice. If I said to every one of you call, you have no choice but to get organized, it is a matter of life or death, you do it. Right? What's in it for you? What for me is that I had to find a way to enjoy being outside, but not laying horizontal, letting the sun hit my face. And I was not even allowed to go in the sun for a year. Now it's a year later and I'm ready to get in the sun. I don't even know if pools are going to open right now with what's going on. But I want you to see that you can put your mind at anything if you put your mind to it. So Happy New Year. I say this no matter what kind of call I'm on. Here's the deal. The New Year's happen whether we or not. Guys, listen, we're already into the second quarter of the year, right? And we've been home for a lot of the first part of the year. Here's what I care about is the happy, right? So New Year's resolution, top 3 New Year's resolutions: lose weight, quit smoking, get organized, right? What do they all have in common? Now, if I were to ask somebody on the call, I would say by a show of hands, let me ask you a question. By a show of hands, how many of you have lost weight successfully in your life? Raise your hand. Yep, a lot of people, right? Okay, so you're going to agree with me that what that takes is commitment, determination, discipline, perseverance, system. See, I always tell people when they ask me what I do, I said, I'm like the smoke enders and the Weight Watchers of getting organized. And they say, what do you mean by that? I said, well, top 3 New Year's resolutions are lose weight, quit smoking, and get organized. And what they all 3 have in common is you got to want it bad enough. Like you got to want it bad and stay on a diet. Right? Like I lost 7 pounds on Weight Watchers. There are days when I'm totally committed and there were days where like, I'm not as committed because this is tough right now and I can buy a refrigerator from where I'm sitting every day and this is just not the right normal. I am trying like you know what. So far since coronavirus, I lost pounds. I'm totally committed to making this happen, okay? But I'm also 80%. I eat Weight Watcher style 6 days a week and 1 day a week I eat whatever I want. That's how I do it because there is no such thing as perfection. So you got to have one of these. The change is in the choosing. You can't just want it. You have to make the decision, choose to do something about it. How many of you by a show of hands want to lose weight? Raise your hand. A lot of you want to lose weight. Now, if I were to say to you by a show of hands, how many of you are going to choose to lose weight? That's always a different answer, right? So I went to see Oprah in March when she had Michelle Obama as her guest, her 2020 vision tour. And it's all about Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers was one of the sponsors. Oprah's one of the owners of Weight Watchers. And there was a lot of Weight Watchers stuff that day. The time I walked out of that experience, I signed up. Okay? They totally got me. I signed up. Here's the thing. I chose to be one of the people to lose weight. I didn't walk out of there and look at my girlfriend who I went with and go, oh my God, I really want to lose weight. No, I am the one that chose to lose weight. So if you really want to get organized, it's going to take you choosing, not wanting. You can want to get organized till the day you die, right? It's about choosing. That's where the action comes in. So what's in it for you? Think about it. What's in it for you? Why bother at this point? You know, I always say to my clients, you live this long, You're on this call now because something got to you. Are you living within your mess because you're in your home? Are you not getting as much work done? Are you not sleeping? Are things going through the cracks? Are you losing money? Think about why you need to get organized. Because, here are some reasons to get organized. Number one, pure joy in what you do. Literally, I will tell you, I have got the biggest international speaking business I have ever seen, and it's just me. And I am absolutely killing it and keeping all the moving plates in order. But here's the thing. I focus on the way I operate. And because I have systems, I have no stress about it whatsoever. I'm completely enjoying my life. I have clarity. I know exactly what I need to do every day when I get up, and no more and no less, because I have no distractions. I sleep every night. I get to spend more time with my family, and I'm making more money. And a million more reasons: peace of mind, reputation, self-confidence. There are a million reasons why. Nobody gets to tell you what the reason is why you want to do this. You just want to have a why that's strong enough that keeps you focused on the outcome. So when you're not consciously creating you're living incidentally, not intentionally. And I want all of us to living intentionally. So when you have a mission, which is, I'm going to cut off an hour of my workday because I'm going to work smarter, not harder. And I'm telling myself that I'm doing that, that's when things start to happen. So I want you guys to do this. I want to set your intentions every single day. I want you to set your intentions. I want you to visualize what your day looks like. I literally got up this morning. I started at 10 a.m. and I'm on nonstop, 10 o'clock call, 11 o'clock call, 1 o'clock call, prepare for this, 2 o'clock webinar, get off for this, another call, and then a yoga class. And I'm at yoga class. I'm going to be early and I'm going to yoga because that's feeding my soul and it's keeping it aligned while we're going through this. I'm taking care of myself every day. Highly recommend that every single one of you on this call build into your day. Half-hour minimum of what you're going to do to take care of yourself. I don't care if it's going outside and laying in the sun, whatever you need to do. So set your intention, plan for just the day. If you set intention about your day, you have a much better chance of it happening that way than if you don't. So number two, declutter, declutter. This is huge. I know, to ask by show of hands, how many of you out there, and I'm not making anybody wrong, but I want you to raise your hand if you have more than 10,000 emails in your inbox right now. You go. Good for you. Thank you for your honesty. Good for you, right? 10,000 emails in your inbox. Okay. How many of you have hovering around 5,000? Anybody got hovering around the 5,000? Got a bunch of those. Any of you hovering around the 1,000? Okay, I got a bunch of those. Any of you hovering around 500? Got a bunch of those. All right, the question. How many of you on this call have 50 or less emails in your box? Okay, I got a couple. Thank you, Mary. Good job. Here's the thing. I don't care if you don't care. That's really important for you to know. I don't care if you don't care. If it doesn't stress you out, it doesn't stress me out. It's your life, not mine. I just care that if you want help, I'm here to help you. It's how I deal with my clients and the work in the world. I'm not going to make you do anything that you don't want to do. I'm not fix it that isn't broken. I'm only here to provide tools for those of you that really need the help and that are ready to do the work. It doesn't work unless you work it. No system works unless you work it. The forks and the knives and the spoons don't automatically jump in their silverware holder. You have to work it, right? The key doesn't automatically pop onto the hook or into the key bowl. You have to do it. It's like anything else. The system works unless you work it. So here's something that's really important that I want you to get, which I think will be really helpful. Number one, we're not treating our email inbox exactly the way we'd be treating our email inbox. And if we knew this really early on, things might look different and we might not have that many emails in our inbox. So the mailbox that we all have in front of our house, okay? We go to our mailbox every day or every other day and we grab everything in our mailbox and we take it into our home and we recycle it. Like what I do is go to my mailbox, take my mail, my kitchen counter, stand in front of the recycle bin, toss what has to go out, and what I don't have to toss comes into my office, right? So what that mailbox essentially is in our house is this. It's a loading dock, right? I went down to my mailbox and I went through the mailbox and took what I wanted and left the crap for the mailman. I told you I went to my mailbox and took everything out. So the mailman essentially comes to an empty mailbox every day. That's a loading dock. It's a little mini loading dock that we all have in our house, right? Listen, guys, our email inbox is a loading dock. It's not meant for them to live in the inbox. It's meant for them to come in and you move them out. That's why you have folders to the left inbox. The inbox is just a loading dock. And if we're to treat it that way, life is going to change. So 4 reasons for email overload. You're unfamiliar with Outlook or Gmail. You don't schedule email processing for scheduling. Schedule time for email processing. You're checking versus processing, meaning you're going like this, looking for fires. You're moving all those emails up. You're not files, only taking the things that are fires, or you have no good system for storing. Email overload isn't measured in terms of the total number of messages received. It's measured in terms of the total number of messages waiting for your attention, and not everything you get attention. By far, not everything any of us get needs our attention. Spam's not the problem, your commitment to deleting it is. It's not a problem. It's come in. It's going to come in like everything else comes in that we have no control over. See, here's the thing, guys. We have no control over what comes into our life. Mail delivering my email box right now, got no control. Email popping into my email inbox right now, I have no control. Voicemails are popping into my voicemail right now, I have no control. Someone's going to walk down into your office in a minute and ask you to do something for them. No control. You're going to all of a sudden on your way to the kitchen from office tonight on the way to make and boom, something's going to pop into your head. It just happened to me. Oh my God. I just remembered that I wanted to order a new iPhone case because I dropped mine and the case broke, right? It popped into my head. It's a to-do. I wrote it down. The problem is not them coming in because no control over that. The problem is we do with them once they're there. There are a lot of things going on in our life right now we have no control over. We all get that. We all agree. But this issue of getting our shit together, we got control over. I'm begging every one of us to use this time now to do this. So how about looking at, how many of you raise your hand if you want to know your email inbox to 0? Okay, got it. I hear you. I see all of you. Here's what we're doing. The first thing you're going to do, and if you want to, just take a screenshot of this right now while it's up. Get your camera out, take a screenshot of this, because this is what you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to sort by sender. You're going to sort your emails by sender. When you sort them by sender, your emails are going to automatically alphabetize. Round 1 is delete round. You're going through the alphabet, A to Z. You're going to Ashley Smith and the A's. There's 480 emails from Ashley Smith. She doesn't even work in your organization anymore. You get those 480 emails, boom, you're going to delete all of them. Go down the alphabet, A to Z. Just make quick decisions. If you have to think about it, pass it. We want quick decisions. And the reason why is because this is instant gratification. This round 1 is going to cut your emails in half of just all the crap you don't need. How many emails do you have from Coupon? How many emails do you have from Trocity? How many emails do you have from the Sun catalog, the Garnet Hill catalog, Old Navy? All the places that you have emails all the time, you're going to get rid of them. And you're going to see how far down your number goes. That's round 1. Round 2, you're going back up to the A's. You come to someone like Wendy Ellen. You get down to the W's, you have email from Wendy Ellen, you have 17 emails from Wendy Ellen, you want to keep Wendy Ellen. You could make a Wendy Ellen folder. You could make a webinar folder. You could make a productivity folder. I don't care what you call me. You just want to put me in a folder, okay? I don't care what you keep. I just care that you keep it in the inbox, okay? So now here's the other thing about going through A to Z. You did not get to over 10,000 emails in your box overnight, and you're not going to undo it overnight. You're not expected to get off this call and totally go through your emails until you have 0. I want you to 2 letters of the alphabet a night. I want you to commit to every single day you're going to go through the A's and B's, the C's and D's, then the E's and the F's, all the way till you get to the letter, to the D. 2 letters a night. And if you go through them quickly, add another letter. Just bite this in chunks. Stop avoiding the huge big project, because yes, it's a huge big project. Make it a project, 2 letters a day. That's all. Now here's the magic. Take a picture of this as well. You see over here, I have this little section in my inbox. It's called my Command Central. I have 2 underscores next to Command Central because I want to put up at the top. Under Command Central, I have a quote that says Action this week, no deadline, awaiting response, awaiting to read. Robin Wheeler from Twitter emails me and she asked me to do something for her. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to answer Robin's email. I'm going to drag Robin's email into my Action this week for her because she's asked me to do something for her. If I stop what I do every time somebody comes into my inbox and I attend to their email, I have essentially checked off everybody else's to-do list at the end of the day, not mine. And as I say, how's that working for you? Not working for me. That's not my job. My job is to get my work done. I'll stop and look at emails, but I'll put them where I need them next if I can. If it's 2 minutes or less email and Robin says to me, when will you be available for a call tomorrow or 3, I can answer that really quickly. But if Robin wants me to get her a proposal, I'm not going to do it, stop what I'm doing right now to do for Robin. I'll make my time it done, right? So I might have projects that I want to do that have no deadline, and I want to remember that I will drag them into my no deadline folder. I might email Stacy and ask Stacy to do something for me. And I want to remember that it's in Stacy's court. I will blind copy myself on the email. And when the email comes into my inbox, I drag that into awaiting response. Everything in my awaiting response folder are things that I'm waiting for someone else to get back to me on. And I want to remember. And I go in that folder every day to say, oh, I'm waiting on that somebody. I'm going to check back into them. Maybe they forgot, right? Yeah, Marty sends me an article at least every day from the New York Times about something he knows I'm going to want to read. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing right now to read it, but I'm going to drag it into a way to read. So now as things are coming in, I'm processing them. I'm just putting them where I need them next, right? I'm not living at email box. I'm living out of my folders. My inbox, just a loading dock. Look at your work life like one big volleyball game. Your goal every day is to get as many balls out of your court as possible and into someone else's. That's your job. Literally every day. Oh, how many balls can I pop out of my court? I might come back to you. Pop them out again, right? So this guy had 20,857 emails in his box and I got him down to 0. And it only took 2 hours because most of it was junk. And I promise you most of what you have, you don't need. You just don't know that because you're afraid on some level to tell the inbox that over 10 emails. So number 3, realistic about getting things done. I need you to really get realistic about getting things done. Guess what we have every day? 24 hours. Let me say that again. We don't have any more. Stop scheduling yourself as if you have 6 hours in a day. You don't. So at the end of the day, everybody's disappointed and defeated because they didn't get done what they thought they were going to get done or what they set out to get done, but you were never going to get it done to begin with because it's humanly impossible. So I'm really realistic about what I can get done. And the way I do that is people do business, people know, like, and trust. Do we agree? I think everybody agrees. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. This is the way to do it. You undercommit and you overdo every single time. That builds trust. You do because I said so, because I said I would. You do what you're going to do, but you got to set yourself up for that, okay? The way to do that is to block time in your calendar to get your work done. Why are we in the world, everyone, always so quick to say, sure, I'll get on that call. Sure, I'll have that meeting. Sure, I'll have that meeting. Sure, I'll have that meeting, right? What do meetings besides stress us out and waste time? They produce more work. Every meeting we come out of, we go, oh my God, now I have 3 more things on my list to do, right? When are we going to do the things that all these meetings produce and block out times to do it? I put 3 block times on my calendar every single week to get my work done, whatever work I choose to do. Here's the first one, Max Monday. Every single Monday morning in my office, and I'm just getting my week ready. Even now, I'm in my office on Monday morning, just getting my week ready. When I'm traveling on a Monday, I'm not in my office. But if I'm in the office, Monday morning is I am setting myself up for success every single Monday, looking to make sure that I can do what I said I was going to do. What if I have an appointment with you set up for Thursday that we booked a month ago? A lot happens on your calendar and mine in a month. Are we still going to be able to honor that or not? Do I want to reach out to my person and say, hey guys, listen, I'm not going to be able to do lunch. I'm really sorry. I thought a month ago I would, but now it's not a good time. That's just setting yourself up for success. Next day is crap day. Friday afternoon is crap day. Why? Because if I'm in town, I don't want to be in Atlanta traffic on a Friday afternoon. I suspect that no matter where we all live in the world, we don't want to be in Friday afternoon traffic, right? So I leave Friday afternoon for me to be in my office getting crap in my job that I get done all week. I literally throw it in Friday afternoon, knowing that on Friday afternoon it's crap day. And it makes such a big difference when you have an expectation. Friday afternoon is all the little crap I got to do, and have a floater day. So what that looks like is, come on, okay. Maximize Monday is Monday morning. Crap day is Friday afternoon. And the floater floats between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning night. So if I'm going to be at a client all day Wednesday, I can't do a floater day. I have to do it another day. I commit 3 block times a week, and I'm allowed to move them, but I'm not allowed to cancel them. I got to get 3 block times in a week that I'm getting my work done. That ensures I get my work done. So I want you all to look at the way you operate. There are a lot of people on call that like to get the hard things done on their list first, right? They like to get the worst things done first. Raise your hand if you're a worst thing done. You want to get the worst thing over with, right? So a lot of people are that way. I'm the opposite. I like to get the things that take the shortest amount of time done. I like to knock those off my plate, knock them off, check them off my list, so I only have the hardest thing left. How many of you on this call are morning people? Anybody on this call a morning person? Not me. I'm not a morning person. I'm an afternoon person, right? I know myself. I don't want to schedule a call first thing in the morning. I want to use my mornings for me, but I'm willing to work into the evening. And that's how I work best, right? Setting mini milestones. You know what that looks like? Taking 2 letters of the alphabet when you're going through your email. That's a mini milestone. Just decide that at the end of the day today, I'm going to go through A and B. Gadget separation. When's the last time you left this in another room to get your work done, right? This thing right here is a blessing and a curse. Let's agree on that. This is a blessing and a curse. While it's lovely and it allows us to do so many things we can do without it, it's addictive. We're attached to it. We can't put it down. We use it for every single thing in the world. Sometimes leaving in another room while you're getting your work done is really, really healthy and productive. Batching things together, that's crap day. Just throw all the stuff together that you need to do. And then the biggest thing for me is reward. Reward for me is every day at 3 o'clock, a cup of coffee. I'm going for my reward when this webinar is off and getting a second cup of coffee. It's something I love doing more than anything. I like my 3 o'clock afternoon coffee as much as I do my first in the morning coffee. So let's recap. 3 new systems. Number 1 is set your intentions every day. Number 2, you're going to put together command tool in your email, and you're going to schedule meetings with yourself. Listen, the change is in the choosing. You've got to remember that the change is in the choosing, and choosing requires action. You've got to decide you're going to do this. You got to make the decision. You're going to be one of the people that makes the decision to do this. I want progress, not perfection. I told you I'm 80% organized. I'm 80% on watchers, or 90%. I do not expect perfection. It does not exist. Progress. 2 letters of the alphabet A, right? So here's what's possible. You get important work done. You have control over your workload. Your email inbox at 0. You have complete focus every day. You have total self-confidence. You're meeting your daily and week goals. You're able to honor your word. You expect from your clients and your colleagues. You have more energy for your work. You have increased bottom line revenue, renewed job satisfaction, a good night's sleep, and peace of mind. If everyone was called away with one of these things, you've made my day for sure. So here's the reality. Next year is going to look exactly the same if you continue, if you don't do something different about it. Your current state of work will continue to eat away at your time and energy. You're going to work twice hard than you need to enjoy getting by. Who are you ready to be? I want you to think about Go back to the word of who am I? Who are you ready to be? What if you had total clarity every day? What if you had no piles? I'm no piles. What if you had total control over your inbox? You had more free time. You were energized at your desk. You're able to work smart, hard, and you loved how you did what you did. I always tell clients, it's one thing to love what you do. It's another to love the way you do it. I love what I do. But part of why I love what I do is because I love the way I do it. I don't have any stress around the way I do it. So who are you going to choose to be? Are you going to be a chooser or a hunter is the question. Who are you going to choose to be? Here's the deal. Right now, I am offering free 30-minute phone calls with whoever wants a call. For the first 25 people who schedule a call with me, you're getting my free ebook. The book I wrote, Enough is Enough, Get Control of Your Stuff. All you have to do, Stacy is going to put this in the chat room right now. This link, all you have to do is click it. All it does is take a calendar. You're going to grab a spot. If you see a free spot, a spot. Okay? Starting tomorrow and then all next week. Get on the call, guys. Here's the deal. I don't usually offer this because I don't have the time. I'm not home. I'm on an airplane at least twice a month, traveling the country and the world, speaking on this topic, going to corporate clients and working in people's spaces. I am forced to be here. I have the time to talk. You have the time to talk to me. This is an issue you've been carrying with you all your life and you're ready to be done with it. You could come out of this coronavirus experience a completely different person than you were going in. How cool would that be, right? So for the first 25 people, I didn't write it on this slide, but the first 25 who sign up, you're automatically my book. I'm literally downloading it, sending it to your box, right? 30 minutes with me. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have challenges, specific challenges you want to talk to me about, if you have questions about how to deal with what you're dealing with at home, whatever the issues are, let's get on the calendar. I'm here, I'm committed to doing this. Standard of success in life, the money, it isn't the joy or the stuff. It is absolutely the amount of joy that you feel. There's my joy, and there's my joy. That's my biggest joy. And everything changes the moment we commit to something. I'm going to stop sharing, Stace, so that we can go and open it up for questions.
Wow, that was a whirlwind. Wendy, I don't know if I saw you take one single breath in the whole 50 minutes we were on this call. So
I'm so afraid to not give all my content and to really give what they came here for that I'm taking a break.
Well, it's well deserved, and I think I've said this before. I've got an entire chair, but I only needed the edge. So thanks for that. That was a really well done and put together, and I know everybody got a ton of value. We do have a bunch of questions. Just a couple of things, housekeeping stuff here. Unfortunately, Zoom is not making the hyperlink clickable. So just copy and paste that link into your browser. I'm going to drop it again in the chat window. Just copy and paste it. It's bit.ly/Wendy Calendar. So, man, take Wendy up on this offer. This is worth more than gold. Truthfully, let me paste that in there before we jump into some questions here. So, copy and paste that.
I'm not sure I understand. I'm looking at some of these things from through the Clemcy. Book 30-minute strategy. Call Ruth Armishaw with Ruth's email. I'm not sure what that means, whether I should be calling Ruth. But you have a link here. Just copy the link. It's a calendar link. Yeah. Or if you can't do that, the easiest thing you can do is email me. Just email me, wendy@wendyellen.com. You see my email. My last name is ELLIN, right? Just email me, wendy@wendy.com. You don't need to say a word in the subject. Let's just put calendar link, please. Right? Just say calendar link, please. I'll send you the calendar link. Not easy. Get on the calendar if you want to talk. The 25 people that are on this call, they're getting a free ebook. All right, Stace, you want to manage these questions for me?
Yeah, you bet. These are coming fast and furious. So let's get started. So JCJ, who's on the call today, asked, do we need paper anymore? And we've talked lots of digital and e-clutter. What about the paper side of things, Wendy?
So here's the thing. I have a paper system. I can't do everything. I had to pick and choose what I could do on this call today. Suggested, do you need paper before? I don't get to make that decision for you. You get to. Here's what I tell people. I straddle the paper/technology world. Okay. And because I straddle both worlds, I have a system for both. If you're going to straddle the paper/technology world, in my eye, I have to have a system for both. Okay. Listen, if I had a choice between paper and an email, I'd choose paper. I like paper. I've been with paper longer, right? So you guys get to decide, but if you're keeping paper, you got to have a system for it. And unfortunately, I can't go through that on the call, but you could set up a call with me.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, because there's, two different ways of handling both different types of clutter. So Karen Rodriguez, her question came through is she's using AOL Mail and doesn't know how to see how many emails she has. Have you ever worked with AOL as a platform when you're helping your clients clean up their e-clutter?
Actually, I haven't, but I'm willing to look into it. So please schedule a call. And let me also just say this for everybody on this call. There are really a lot of things there are very few things that I'm really good at in my life. I'm willing to own that away. Like what I'm doing right now for you, I'm really good at. And being on a stage and getting people to do this, I'm really good at. Technology suck, okay? I'm a tech guy. Get yourself a tech guy. For everybody on this call that is not good at technology, hire a tech guy to do all that stuff for you, who can get on your computer remotely and do anything you need for you. It's the biggest thing I ever did in my life was I hired Stan, the tech guy. I've turned Stan on to 1 million people. We'll work remotely for you too. If you want a tech guy, email me and tell me you want the name of my tech guy. Okay? And he'll tell you how to do all these things.
Yeah, you know what? Do the things you're good at, right, Wendy? I think that's another big lesson.
I don't want to be a tech person for my clients. I am not the tech person for you guys. Just put it out there. You guys want tech, I am not your person. Okay.
Good stuff. Another great question from Carrie. How do you deal with photos in your office? She'd like to be able to look at her peeps during the day, but would like to have a cleaner look. So any suggestions you have for photos?
Physical photos in my office? I'm assuming she means physical?
Yeah. I think physical photos, probably desktop frames, that kind of stuff.
Here's what I think about. Again, everything I'm sharing with you is just my personal opinion and what makes me successful and brings me joy. Too excess of anything makes me feel uncomfortable. Too much of anything makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to move away. If you can see, I have 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures on my gray wall. There they are. 2 in black frames, 2 white, and the pink. I have plenty more than that than I like, but I don't want excess because to me that's distraction. You got to make a decision. If you want a bookcase with 25 picture frames on, put them up. I just want to say if clutter is an issue with you, that's part of the clutter. So you're just going to have to make some tough decisions. Maybe you rotate them. Maybe you have your 5 favorite pictures this month, and next month you take all those down and you put 5 more up. And every week.
Yeah. Or you know what? Buy a digital frame, right? If you can get those pictures digitized, then the digital frame will just rotate through those. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So another question from JCJ, and I'm sure you come across this a lot, Wendy. JCJ said they lived in New York for 32 years, but moved to Vermont. How do I get rid of all this stuff and transition over the next year? Seems really overwhelming. 32 years worth of stuff.
How about 1 box at a time? Okay. Stop thinking it is a huge, big job. It's a big job, right? There's no question about it, but you got to start somewhere. So start with 1 box at a time. I have clients now in my group program, we're all tackling 1 space at a time. When I say a space, I mean a drawer or a closet or a bin. I'm not talking about 1 big room. There's a lot going on in 1 big room. You're just biting it off in chunks.
Absolutely.
So call me, talk about how to get you started.
That's awesome. Yeah. And talking about that call, I mean, the amount of value that we've gotten in this hour, plus another 30 minutes one-on-one with you, Wendy. I mean, I can't imagine what the value of that is for a person and how much you charge on an hourly rate to meet with corporate clients. So, to get this hour plus 30 minutes one-on-one, that's an incredible offer. And, it'd be silly not to take you up on it, because this is the next question that came up from Linda. Linda says, excellent webinar, Wendy. Where can we buy the ebook? And she doesn't even need to buy it. She can get it for free just by booking that call with you.
Right? Guys, let me just say this. You got to be ready. I'm not going to lie. You got to be ready to do this. There's got to be some skin in the game for you. You got to really decide that you are done with living the way you're living. And if the reward is big enough and the pain is strong enough, you're done doing this. You're done living this way. You're done living this way. You're done having your family live this way. You know, and for those of you that have kids in your house, living the way you live, a model for your children.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I don't want to say you owe it to your kids, but you know what? How do you want your kids to grow up? I had a client the other day, a woman who had one of these sessions with me. She signed up for a session. She said, can I invite my mother? I said, that's fine. So she clued her mother into the call. And after she was sharing with me all the ways in which she's disorganized, I said to her mother, ask you a question. Do you understand why she's this way? I didn't do anything, but can you see, can you understand why she is this way? Do you have any enlightenment? And she said, yeah, I was disorganized. I said, so there you go. I said, don't beat yourself up about it. There shouldn't be any shame about this. You just didn't learn these skills. It doesn't mean you can't learn them, right? Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't make yourself wrong. Just decide I'm done living this way. And I'm going to help I need if that's the case. I can help you. I'm not lying. Right now, my fees are drastically reduced because I'm in the home and I can help you. Okay? I'm going to be dead honest. I can help you. You get a cleaning lady to clean your house because you don't want to clean it or you don't do it as good as they, right? You get a therapist when you need somebody. Get the help that you need in the areas that are really going to serve you well or not. But I'm really realistic and I'm really brutally honest. And I have so much, on some level, I always wanted more for you than you wanted for yourself. But if you wanted as much for yourself as I wanted for you, we're a match. Right?
That's right. Yeah. I just chuckle because it's funny because it's true. So Jackie has a really good question here, and I'm sure this is, relates in a lot of different ways to lots of different people. Her problem is she's too much of a memorabilia fanatic. That's pretty specific, but I'm sure this just relates to compiling stuff on top of stuff. So what would you recommend to somebody who just compiles those types of products and stuff in their house or their office?
So here's the thing. You didn't say, Jackie, in this chat, love my memorabilia. You said, my problem is the memorabilia, right? So right there, that tells you something. Memorabilia is now becoming a problem. So if it's becoming a problem, it's time to do something. Maybe you take pictures of these things. Maybe in books that are a photo you have. There are plenty of things that we can do electronically to still save the memory, but not hold the thing that's dragging us down.
Great point. That's a huge lesson just right there. So Stacy, not me, but another Stacy asked about, recommendations for deleting from Outlook or other mail apps or directly on Gmail. I'm not sure if that means moving it from Outlook or mail onto Gmail or, deleting them from all platforms.
All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal about, hi, Stace. I know Stacy does actually. I recommend deleting your email from wherever you are. If you have Outlook, then you just need to sort from, and it'll alphabetize it and you get rid of it, okay? I have Gmail, but I don't have to go remotely to get my Gmail. Let me say that again. I have Gmail, but Stan, my tech guy, was able to read out my email that is online. It comes right into my computer. And because he did that for me, I click on my little stamp on my Apple computer and my Gmail comes up and I can sort by sender. You cannot sort by from when you're going to Gmail remote. It doesn't allow you. So you have to have a tech guy reroute it. The only way you can sort by person is to search for all the Wendy Ellen emails, all come, and then you decide if you want to keep them or not.
Good stuff. Joan has a question here. What about getting rid of piles? That was on one of your clients that you showed on your presentation earlier. All these piles on her desk. What do you do about getting rid of those piles? How did you walk through that process?
You got to pick things up and make a decision as to where they go. They live in a pile. They live in a file, but they can't live in a pile. Piles are not, they can do it if they want, but if piles are stretching you out, you have to make a decision that they're no longer an option. Piles are always the easiest option, right?
Yeah.
Come in the house, put something down, and move on. Piles require no effort on your part.
And the more piles you have, the less effort you put in, I guess is the way to look at it. All right. Karen, good stuff. So we're experiencing a bit of a delay here, so give it some time. But Karen Rodriguez asks, how do you minimize archive files and tackle paper memorabilia?
Say that again.
How do you minimize archive files and how do you tackle paper memorabilia?
Say you tackle paper, any memorabilia. You got to make a decision. You're keeping it or you're not. And then if you're keeping it, there's got to be a place, a permanent home for it. And a pile is not an option. A bin, a drawer, a shelf, a wall, a cupboard. Those are options for things to live. But a pile is not an option. So you get to decide what you keep. But here's the other thing, guys, that I didn't mention that I usually do in this webinar. You can live above your means spatially as easily as you can live above your means financially, which means you have more crap than your actual space can hold. So you have to make decisions. You can't keep everything collected your 30, 40, 50 years of living without getting rid of some stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think that paying $200 a month for storage unit is the answer.
Just another place to pile stuff. You got it.
Exactly.
Another question from a different Stacy. We got a few Stacys on the call today. She's got a lot of things that are worth money. She wants to hold on to them until she can sell them online or auction them off someday. How does she organize and how did she get to that someday so that she can hold on to those things for later, but organize them now?
Okay, so I'm not sure I really understand the question. How do I get them someday? What's stopping you from getting to them? I have things that are worth money. I hold on to them and then I want to sell them online or auction off someday. Sell online. Right now the whole world is online. Now's the best place to do it. Take pictures, sum them up, hire somebody who deals with that stuff and tell them you'll give commission and you let them do it themselves. I wouldn't do it myself. I don't know how to do that. That's not my jam, right? Not something I'm good at. If you're good at it or you'd be good at it, research, do it. And then start an online business. You guys, this is the opportunity. If we don't all see this as an opportunity, we're all crazy people. This is an opportunity for us to do a million different things.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like this is the last question. If you got any more questions, get them in here. But we got one here from Lisa, Wendy. She says, dealing with the send is the worst. The system doesn't allow you to automatically send it to a folder. So I think, Lisa, if you can clarify, if you're asking when you send an email that just goes to your sent box, how do you organize all your sent emails? I think that's the question.
I don't organize my sent emails. Why do I need to organize my sent emails? First of all, I never go into my sent emails because if I want to keep something I'm sending to someone, I blind copy myself and the email comes into my email inbox. So I don't have to go to my sent emails. Blind copy yourself. Like the BCC, baby, go for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is a great idea.
You've been wonderful. You've been so focused, and I'm really completely 100% grateful for all of you on this call. I'm begging you, if you can't see that I want to jump off this chair and I'll hug every one of you, although I'm not allowed to hug you, but I just want you got this. You totally got this. I'm totally there with you. Stacy knows me more than anyone. I am so totally there with you.
Yeah. And just, I mean, in the short time I've been working with you, Wendy, the amount of stress that comes off by having just a few little things organized a lot better has been phenomenal. So I'm going to post the link one more time for everybody. Shindle, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. She says, thanks so much, Wendy. It's just super. Love that there's no hard selling like some other webinars, virtual hugs all the way around. And she's right. The 30-minute strategy call, that is as genuine a gift as it comes. So please, I urge you, take up Wendy on that offer. It's 30 minutes. You're able to talk about lots of generalities, but there's so many specific little things about you and your personality and where you're at Wendy's going to be able to help you out with those. So Wendy, any final thoughts while people are filling up your calendar here over the next week and a half?
Here's my final thought, guys. I'm completely 100% well, I know of. I don't think of the coronavirus, but if I get the coronavirus and it takes me down, can I please leave the world a little more disorganized than I came in? That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's great. And looks like we got one more question here. We'll just squeeze this one in. JCJ asks, do you set your priorities each day? And when, and my question to add to that is, when do you do that?
I like to look at my day the night before. I'm only doing it right now, honestly, because Marty is working in the house with me, my husband. And so we're playing kind of Russian roulette with, are you going to call? Am I going to be on a call? Where am I going to be? Where are you going to be? You know, I've had the house for 20 years by myself. All of a sudden I got this dude in my house that's taking my space, that's me a little wonkers. So the night before, look and go, what's tomorrow look? Okay. Marty literally took the dog to the park while I'm doing this webinar. So Ruby is not like barking at me or asking me to rub her belly. So but I like the night before. I like to know what I'm going into the next day. So great question. Guys, you're awesome. Got this. Little bits at a time. Stop this on as a huge project. You'll never get little bits at a time. You got this. I believe in all of you. If you were on this call, it's because you're going to take the next step, and I believe you will. And I thank you so much for giving me your time.
Awesome. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Check your email inboxes, and you will thank me later for making sure that you get on your 30-minute call with Wendy. It'll be a very useful 30 minutes for you, guaranteed.
And here's the thing, if you sign up for 30 minutes, be on time. I got to look at my calendar. It's going to be a craziness, okay? Be on time. I'm going to be on those calls. We're going to get on, we're going to get off. We're going to get on and off. Please, please, I beg of you. I'm willing to give you my time, but you can't eat into it. I'm really begging you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.
Bye. Be safe. Wash your hands.